Well, good morning, everyone. This is Curtis Hawks with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, and want to thank everybody for taking some time out of the day today to be with us for a very exciting announcement with Ohio National. For those of you that attended the Ascend event last week, um, two things, I guess. One, that Ascend site, we did record everything on there, and that is going to be open for everybody to continue to go in there and look at additional content. And then secondly, we've got a lot of good information on Ohio National um, as far as the company, products, et cetera. And so we're going to take a deeper dive into that today. Before we get going on that, though, I did want to take a minute to talk a little bit about some of the additional ways that IAMS is here to help add value to your business. First up is our new producer builders, and these are really a great way to help partner with a new advisor that comes on board with us. You can see the point levels there, and you can also see a variety of different options. So no matter if you're, looking to try and do trips or get additional cash or do different marketing programs, we've got a variety of options there to meet you where you're at in order to help you get to where you want to be. The other thing I would mention to you is that part of what we focus on is customization. So if you're doing something currently that's working well for you, then just certainly feel free to reach out to a sales director and chat with them about that and incorporating that into this. And again, the phone number for us is 800-255-5055. In addition to that, we've got a referred producer program. If you currently work with us right now and you know of an advisor who maybe is looking to make a change or a transition, this is a great opportunity to accrue additional dollars. Not only do you get a $50 bonus when the agent first gets contracted, you get an additional bonus on an ongoing basis on their production. You don't have to do anything. We take care of all the service and support for the advisor, and you've got checks coming out to you on a quarterly basis. In addition to that, we've got our marketing reimbursement program, and that accrues $100 for every 100,000 of indexed annuity premium, and then $200 for every 100,000 of single premium life premium, and then $200 for every 10,000 of life target. And one thing I would mention to you as well, I know we're on the call today to talk about a new partnership, a new carrier. They certainly qualify for marketing reimbursement as well when you're writing business with them. Back office support. I think every firm talks about back office support, but I think the last couple of years have really put a spotlight on the importance of having a good team of people supporting your business, whether it's on the front end from a marketing standpoint or case design to on the back end, trying to get stuff pushed through these with all these carriers. Because even today, we're still at a point where a lot of these carriers don't have everybody back in the office, and so having a team here that can really be aggressive and really push to get things through, I think adds a lot of value. And so I would encourage you, if you haven't tested out our service, to certainly make it a point to do that. Firelight. So obviously technology is a core focus of ours, and so making things easier through technology, whether it's our website, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, or even e-applications. And so you can see here on our Firelight platform all of the carriers that we have. Ohio National is actually a company that integrates with that, so we've got to get that updated on here. But it makes it easy, make sure that the application goes in good order. We've also got some promotions around Firelight as well, to where if you're not set up on that, there's some additional bonus that you can get for getting registered and getting your first application in as well. So if you've got questions on that, feel free to reach out and talk to one of the sales directors over here. Again, the number's 800-255-5055. Creative marketing solutions. So as you can see, we've got a variety of different things that we do, but I really think creative is kind of the key word here. One of the things that we've seen over the last couple of years, and I talked about this in the Ascend event last week, but the ability to be nimble and the ability to identify opportunities in your community. And so we've done a lot of custom projects. In fact, that's a lot of what we do right now with helping advisors get in front of more prospects. And part of the process with that is really trying to identify what are the opportunities in a local market. And so I'm going to launch our first poll here. But one of the things that we offer, and right now is a great time to do it, but it is our custom marketing analysis process. And really what we do there is take a look at what's going on with your business right now. What do you want it to look like? How are you currently marketing? What is the target market that you're wanting to go after? And then we'll put together a customized marketing plan for you, go through that with you. And then you can work with your sales director and our creative team to implement that. And I think when advisors are approaching you, one of the things that you're looking for is balance. Having good, strong, balanced growth. And there's really three components to balance. One is having a target, having a goal. Second is having a plan in place that you think is going to accomplish that. And then the third component of it is the ability to modify that plan as we go forward. And so the marketing analysis process and getting your custom marketing plan is a great way to accomplish that. So we've had a bunch of responses in here. So I'm going to go ahead and close this down so that way we can kind of keep moving along here. IAMS website. So this is a great resource for everyone out there. Not only can you run annuity quotes, life quotes, do e-applications for both annuities and life insurance, but we've got a variety of resources available on the site. One thing that I would encourage everybody to take a look at is that we do have our sales pieces on there. So if you go into the support section, you can go and take a look at, we've got an entire database on concept pieces. And it covers everything from annuities to life insurance to sales strategies, and things that are basic, like how does an annuity work or how does life insurance work, to more advanced strategies like premium finance, split dollar, estate planning, all those types of things. And they're all unbranded, so you can instantly download them and apply your logo to them as well. And so all you need to do is you've got to be a licensed agent with us, and then just go in and create your username and password for it, and you get instant access to it. In addition to that, with the technology theme, Retirement Analyzer, in fact, I think we've got a webinar either later this week or next week on this, but we've seen a significant amount of engagement with this platform, and I think it really does an effective job of addressing that important question that retirees have, which is, have I saved enough for retirement? Am I going to outlive my income in retirement? And am I going to be able to do the things that I want to when I retire? And so this software really acts as a crystal ball to where you can put the assets in, put the growth projections in, and really show that client, here's what it's going to look like. And I think it tees the advisor up perfectly to have the discussion of, if everything wasn't set the way that it needed to be to accomplish your objectives, when would you want to know? Now, or when it's too late to do anything about it? And so if you've got questions on that, because you can actually get access to this for free through us, reach out, talk to one of the sales directors over here, and they can get you hooked up with it. And again, the phone number is 800-255-5055. IAMS Wealth, we started this a few years ago, and we've seen just absolutely phenomenal growth on it. And what I would tell you is, if you maybe aren't happy with your existing relationship, or you've been thinking about adding AUM as a component of your business, reach out, talk to Charles and his team. They do an amazing job. They've got a very high service level, and it can really be an effective way to accent your practice and continue to grow your business and increase your revenue. Top Producer Summit. So we're very excited about this. And as a reminder for everyone, you can see we've still got through the end of June to qualify for this, but this is going to be an absolutely amazing trip. We're going to be working our way around the Buddha, Italy, as you can see there, doing a cruise. And so everything is going to be top-notch, concierge level. If you've got questions on that, or if you're currently producing with us and want to see what your standings are, reach out, talk to a sales director. They can get you more information on that. And like I said, we've still got quite a bit of time to qualify for this. So we're really looking forward to that. Lastly, Life and Annuity Academy. So we'd mentioned this actually last week on our Ascend event. So we are going to be having our first event the beginning of April, April 6th. This is a great opportunity to get a lot of good information, not just on product, but on sales concepts, marketing and prospecting ideas. And then I think there's also a significant amount of value around, the meeting after the meeting and being able to network with other advisors and talk about what they're doing in their local areas. In addition to that, we're going to have some top producer presenters as well, talking about what they're doing in their practice and how that works. So in any case, when you have a moment and you have interest in it, certainly feel free to reach out to us. Phone number is 800-255-5055. So with that, I know we're all here to learn some more about a new carrier partner that we have. And so with me today, I've got Mr. Rick Gomez. He's the Regional Vice President with Ohio National. And just to, I guess, give a little bit of context. So as many of you know, we're very deliberate when we're looking to bring on a carrier partner. And, there was, I think, a big opportunity with Ohio National. Some of you might have heard about them in the past, but they're very strong, stable, sound company. And they've got, an interesting portfolio between the whole life products, IUL, and then term insurance as well. And so we felt like it would be a really good accent to what our advisors are doing and help create additional opportunity for you to do more sales. So with that, I know I've talked quite a bit already. So Rick, I'll hand it over to you, and I appreciate you taking some time with us this morning.
Okay, so let me just jump in. Many of y'all may not have heard of us. We've been around since 1909. Our company has its headquarters in Cincinnati, Ohio. Traditionally, we have always been a mutual company, whole life type of company. Just a couple of years ago, 2017, we came out with our IUL. And we're maybe a little bit late to the IUL game, but we did that so that we could put out the best possible IUL product that's out there. So I want to show you a little bit our product portfolio: term, IUL, whole life, and disability, and how strengthful our products are in the market today. I truly believe that many, if not all, our products are #1 in the categories they're in. But let me go ahead and jump in and share this with you. Don't take my word for it as how good we are. Forbes, and this has been for the past several years, if you go to Forbes.com, look up the top whole life companies in the industry, you're going to find Ohio National the #3 company on the list right there. And again, you see a couple of other companies: Mass Mutual, a little bit down the pipe there, New York Life as well, Penn Mutual, but Forbes again choosing us as the 3rd best whole life company, and that's all products in portfolio. So some of y'all that have not heard of us know that we are highly rated by just about everybody in this industry, and that's been for many, many years there. Apologize. I did want to mention that we do have simplified underwriting, and that's also for disability. I know you see here only life insurance pointed out here, but we also have a simplified underwriting for disability as well, up to and including age 45. That's all of our standard, preferred, select, and super preferred, as well as up to $1 million of coverage, and that's all portfolio though. So that's disability, whole life, term as well. Now you see just one little item here, and that, I think I lost my pointer, but one item is that subject to 2 million maximum limit right there for the total of in-force, meaning if a client already has 1 million with us, let's say they've had that for several years, want to go ahead and take advantage of the on-cue underwriting, they're able to get an additional million up to 2 million with the company. So up to $2 million with the company right there is what you're looking at. And again, it's only available through electronic application as well. So that's our on-cue, that's our simplified underwriting that you're looking at right there. So many companies ask us, do you have simplified underwriting? We've been around since 1909, but just prior to the beginning of the pandemic have we started having this simplified underwriting. Go on to our next slide here. These are our term products that we have on our portfolio. Just going to go kind of top to bottom there for you. We have the term 10, and then we have the term 10 plus. So we have a 10, a 15, and a 20-year product in that. let me see if I can get my cursor here to move around. I don't know if y'all can see that on display. Let me see if I can get pen, highlighter, spotlight. There we go. So again, we have a 10 plus, a recap, which I'll discuss with you all, a 15 and a 20. We do not currently have a 30-year term product, but we are working on that. Given the size that we are as a company, sometimes we have to decide what's best for a client portfolio, and probably sometimes make our whole life in IUL much more strengthful than to have the 30-year term. The difference between the 10 and the 10 plus is the expanded conversion. The 10 is a limited conversion. The plus that you'll notice on the 15 and the 20, that is full convertibility to any of our permanent products, any of our whole life, any of our IUL. The 10 basic is what it's considered. 10 basic is only convertible to one universal life product, kind of similar to going from a term to a somewhat lifetime term, more expensive term is what you're looking at there. The recap term, very unique in the industry. It is a 10-year term only, but how that works is you're able to get credit. So all the premium that you're putting into the term for the first 5 years, if you convert in the first 5 years of this term product, you're going to go ahead and get 100% of that premium funded into your permanent product. Again, proportionally, if you go ahead and convert 100% of your term product over to one of our permanents, you will get 100% of the cash value or premium that you paid into your cash value. Now, you did hear me say 1 through 5 years. Reason being, years 6 through 10, you still get conversion credit, but you're getting 1 full year of premium payment. So if you convert year 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, you only get 1 full year of the premium payment. Now, we've done the math on the product. It's a couple of dollars more, but even if you convert it in the 10th year, you will still actually recoup the same premium as if you would have just purchased the 10-year plus. But again, it behooves that client that say 40 years old that said, I'm going to convert in the next 5 years when X, Y, Z takes place, but I don't want to kind of lose that premium. The recap term, very unique. I don't know of another company that has a recap term. Just a reminder, the different options that we have as far as underwriting classes. Our non-smoker is our standard. Then we have a select non-smoker. We have a preferred non-smoker, and then super preferred. So those are our classes above standard. Standard, select, preferred, and super preferred. Below that, we have a select smoker and a smoker rating. I'm going to move on here. Not sure why it's not moving on. Give me a second here. There we go. Seems like it froze on me. I do apologize. Let me pull it back up here. Here we go. Wanted to highlight again the strength of the product. Wanted to highlight, so we repriced our term product a couple of years ago. I'm sorry, I take that back. Actually in November, prior to a couple of years ago. And what you're looking at right here is a breakdown of our strength in term, where we are if you quoted us within the market. So prior to a repricing we did pretty much the beginning of November, this is where we were repriced. Now this is just female, but very almost exact for males as well. 10-year, 15-year, 20-year, 100,000, 500,000, a million. And if you quoted us out in the market, where you would find us to be. The green is highlighted. That would mean we're top 3 if you quoted that individual, and red, kind of lower end, is what you're looking at there. White is kind of right in the middle between 4 and 6 is where we would land. This is where we were priced prior to November, and then after November, you see a lot of green where we wanted to be in the market. You see a lot of 1 right there. That's what you're going to find when you go out and price us. And I think we are priced extremely well. You saw us being compared to the other whole life companies. All of those companies were probably 30% less expensive than the New York Life, the Mass Mutual, Northwest Mutual. and for good reason. Again, saving your clients some money on the term, but hopefully they'll be converting later. But this gives you an idea in this market right here, how competitive we are when you go and quote us in the market on term insurance. Kind of give you guys an example here, say 45-year-old female, standard non-smoker. As I go along here, maybe I have to unhighlight that. See if I can move on to the next slide without having to jump out here. Let me see. Well, I may have to just show the presentation with the side here, so I do apologize. It's not seem to let me go slide by slide here currently. I don't want to take up too much of your time here. There we go. So what you're seeing here is out in the market on $100,000 of coverage, 45-year-old here. This is just ran out in the market 15 years. What would we look like? Showing you guys again where we would be number one. If I give you guys an example of ours, here you are, same 45-year-old select, $16, which again is number one in the market. So when you see that, when you see this right here, that is where we're priced. When you go out and market us, doesn't matter where you're looking at, you're going to see a lot of us in the top 6, top 3. You know, again, that's where we want to be in that term market. And here's a very good example of that. So won't beat that up too much, but again, all that green, that's where we want to be for your clients right there. Let's go on a little further. And that's enough about term. I want to jump into our whole life right here. So in our whole life, we have 3 whole life products. We have the Prestige Protector, which is over here on the right-hand side. That's really your traditional pay to age 100. Client who wants a whole life, wants to pay to age 100, wants the protection. That's our lowest premium whole life right there. Here in the center, we have our Prestige Max. That's a pay to age 65. Doesn't matter if you're 30 years old, 40 years old, that's pay to age 65. And it's designed to have the maximum amount of premium that you could pay into a whole life up until age 65. No additional premiums are needed. You see a lot of individuals pay into this for cash buildup and obviously be done at age 65. Then we have our 10-pay, which we believe is the best 10-pay in the industry. I'll share with you a reason why on that. Extremely competitive 10-pay, but again, a lot of clients want to just pay it and be done. Very similar, you know, it's for cash buildup in most cases, and also to be done on that 10th year. You do see 2 highlighted things here that say preferred loan feature. That just means as the client meets maximization of their product, either age 65, 10 years in, then they would get a 1% reduction in their loan when they start taking either income or withdrawals on their policy. Give you an idea of our 10-pay, because right now it's extremely popular, our 10-pay. Again, these are the breakdowns before I show the popularity of the 10-pay, but 100,000 is the minimum on the 10-pay and the max, which is to age 65. If a client is looking for 25, 50, something like that of thousands of coverage, then it would be our Prestige Protective, which goes out to age 100. Now, looking at the strength of our 10-pay whole life, you look at some of our competitors right here, whether best class or standard, we are the least expensive 10-pay. So some might say, well, you know, that's nice, but my client maybe wants a little more buildup. Well, the design of our 10-pay allows for you to then put more money in. Say, for example, Mass Mutual, $29,000 versus $15,000 for the same death benefit potential coverage of $500,000. Some clients might be who, you know what, I just want to pay the minimum for my 10-year $500,000. Or other clients might say, well, is there an ability for me to overfund this? And the answer is yes. We could then match the $29,000 at Mass Mutual, and the client have a lot more in cash value than would. And again, we've compared these. You go out probably 15 to 20 years and match that, say, $29,000 with Mass Mutual, or match the Guardian $26,000. We would have much more cash value than that product at the same premium. But for the sake of the client that wants the best death benefit at the lowest price, we have the best 10-pay in the industry. So won't beat that up. Just wanted to share that with you, show you why a lot of our representatives are out there selling the 10-pay either at premium or overfunding up to one of our competitors as an example. Next one, our Virtus IUL. I believe that our IUL is the #1 IUL in the industry. I'll share with you why I have those feelings. It doesn't go below $100,000, so I'll share that with you. As far as death benefit, we have a lot of children policies as well that are being overfunded, that are funded there. So you see from 0 to 17, you can purchase our IUL for children as well. Does go all the way, I want to say our maximum is 25 million without reinsurance, but that's just the specs of our products, start at $100,000. The cap rates, again, our current cap rate, S&P point to point, is actually 9.25. You see the 9.5 on the highlight, but below that, starting January 1, it is now 9.25, which you can see right there on the index cap broken down. In our illustrations, it kind of shows the 20-year look back. This one shows a 15-year, just kind of showing what that 9.25 would look like over the last 15 years. Uncapped, we are 100 percentage participations. Others like the Allianz is 50%. Others are different percentages. We're 100% in our uncapped option, except we currently have a 7% spread. And what that means, if you look at 2021 on here, I really do hesitate to click here on one of the highlights. But if you look at 12/15/2021, 1 year S&P did 27.48. That first 7% the client would not receive. They would have to outperform that 7 in order to receive the additional, 100% uncapped. And as you notice, a client that would have been in our uncapped would have received 20.48% within our product, 20.48. The prior year, 16.59, they would have received 9.59, 14.88, and you see those percentages right there. It is not all or nothing, meaning they can do 25, 75%, 50-50. So again, they can split those percentages if they'd like to. But in some of these bounce back years, there's big opportunity with our uncapped, which truly I believe is the best uncapped in the market. So 9.25 and 7% spread on our uncapped right there. What is the biggest highlight of our IUL? We've shared this with IAMS before, and it's the low cost of insurance. For all of y'all that are familiar with IUL and the inner workings of IUL, there's a load charge. This is an example of a 58-year-old putting in $500,000 for 5 years. I'm going to give you a competitive example there, but there's our load charge that is roughly 6% on the load. Now that does go away after 20 years of funding down to 0. But where we're the best in the industry is the cost of insurance. Nobody has a lower cost of insurance than we do in the industry. Nationwide used to have a pretty competitive cost of insurance, and they still do, but their cap rate is about 8%. Ours at 9.25, and they don't have an uncapped. So in the industry, it doesn't matter what company you're looking at, nobody has a lower cost of insurance that we do, which is going to save your clients a ton of money. So I highlighted that right there. I'm going to now show you, this is a competitive situation here, an actual case that we did. Penn Mutual was the competitor, and everyone came to me and asked, Rick, how do we compare with Penn Mutual? What's going to jump off the page with them? The client is deciding, he got approved by both of us. He got approved preferred non-smoker for both of us. Let's look at the COI in comparison year 1. So this is Penn Mutual, and I've highlighted it for you. Same exact client, same exact scenario. For some reason, their premium load year 1's a little bit higher. 23,955 year 1 COI, us 4266. Same exact client, no difference. We were both preferred, but you see the difference of cost of insurance over a 5-year period. Our 5 years of COI versus their 5 years of COI, they were about, I want to guesstimate, I think it was close to $140,000 more expensive. When I talked to that client, I mentioned these are real dollars. That's an S-Class Mercedes if you wanted to kind of compare, but that $140,000, that's more money in his policy versus the charges that we're looking at. And that's the biggest strength of our policies. We don't have a lot of enhancement. We don't have a big bonus. Those two with other companies are actually charging that client, and many times they don't see that within the policy. Give you guys another example. This is just a ledger of our cost of insurance per thousand. This is where that highlighted number actually comes from. And in a policy, now this is the guaranteed ledger, there's also the non-guaranteed, but how much that we are charging versus our competitors, if you ever look in a policy, this is to me the most important ledger in those policies, and we are the lowest in the industry. So I just share that with you if many of y'all have not seen this before. Another example, of the strength of our policy. Now, this was a little bit of a design. I won't take too much on it, but why I love IUL, and more importantly, our IUL, this is just a client that I did, a 50,000, an actual case that we did. Client, I'm sorry, 50 years old. Client was putting 300,000 for 10 years. You see the COI. Year 11, I adjusted the death benefit and dropped it to as low efficiency as it could possibly be, meaning dropping the death benefit to just above the cash value to reduce that cost of insurance so it didn't become inflated. And as you look out, my clients at age 66, the cost of insurance, $52.13 per year. Now, as an example, over on the right-hand side, you see 15,000 highlighted right there. We have a 0.3% bonus that we pay out starting year 11 on all the cash value. So that bonus, $15,000, now that's not a lot, but I show with the client that $15,000 is paying for your all-in COI. There's not an additional charge in our policy. If you look at the cash value, which is right next to the 15, you see almost 5 million. You have a client who's $5 million in an IUL, only being charged 5,2013, and has a cap of 925 and even an uncapped option right there. And that's at age 66. I like to compare that to, a managed account, which we competitively are always looking at. I'm a 7 and 66 advisor. Many of the competitive clients we're looking at have 2 million, 3 million with a managed account investor or advisor at age 70, and they're either in a fixed income bond or a bond portfolio, still paying upwards of 3% on their $5 million per year. Again, in our IUL, we're giving the client, like I tell the client, we're paying you to be in our IUL. And as an example, hypothetical interest earned there, 295,000. So clients, again, able to have more cash value in our policy build up, and yet our 0.3 bonus might be more than what they're paying in all-in cost of insurance to be in our policy. So that's an example right there. I'm going to jump into a quick stress test that I'm going to show you all, but I wanted to show you all that in our software, we're able to actually put in year-by-year interest. You see the highlighted S&P right there in blue. Year by year, I can put in 5%, 4%. I believe it's going to perform over time. That's pretty unique. Not many companies do that. I'll show you why that's important in my next slide here. But again, I do believe our IUL is the best in the industry. I'm going to pull up what I call is a stress test. I'll try not to be too long on this stress test right here. You know what? I should just leave it out right here. I'm going to minimize this. Hopefully y'all can see my page here. So here's what I did over the last summer. Lincoln, which I used to be a sales manager for Lincoln, good products at the time I was there. Pac Life, John Hancock, some of the most well-known companies out there, huge charges for potential of benefits, multipliers, bonuses that they have. But I decided, you know what, cap rates many years ago were 13 and 15%. Now they've come down a little bit. I still see a huge strength in IUL, but what I did was I decided that I was going to run these companies at a 6% cap rate. That's what I was going to do, and then see how strengthful that they were going to be after, say, 20 years of funding. Give you an example, just a snapshot of what I found was, again, I'll go to the client and how we funded this, but 20 years out, Ohio National with a 6% cap rate. So that's not a 6% interest rate, that's a 6% cap rate. I'll show you how I came up with that. And after 20 years, Lincoln, Pac Life, John Hancock, where they were in cash value versus us, where they were in death benefit versus us. 40% nearly or more in less cash value than we had, and actually no death benefit reached us. What did I do on that 6% cap? Give you an example right here, if you can see it hopefully. This was a 20-year historic going back to 2000. 000 is how it performed at that time. Again, my software can let me put in 3 zeros, and then here's a 975, which it was over the summertime. I went ahead and put a 6% cap rate. So 66541, right here 975, I put 6. So I went through 20 years historically and put 6% where it would have hit the cap, and then year 20 through 61 I left it at a 6% per year growth. And these were the numbers, again, that you see right there. Just to jump, just kind of show you the highlights of it, show you the exact numbers. After 20 years, the client I was using, just sorry I didn't show you immediately, but this was a 60-year-old buying 1.4 million. We increased to maximum for 10 years, and then we leveled it at year 11. So 100,000 for 10 years is what the client put in. Nothing more after that. We leveled it off, as you notice right here on the death benefit, and ours ran all the way out to age 103, but at age 100, still that client having 1.2 million in their policy. If I show you again, just to show you all the others, I don't want to go too much into it. Here's Lincoln with their 6% per year charge, but how did they perform with the exact same client? Again, we were at about 1.2 million at year 20. They're at 679. At year 100, we still had nearly 1.3. They had already lapsed their policy. Same with Pac Life right here. Remember, we had 1.2 million, 788 for them. At year 100, we nearly had 1.3. They did not make it out to year 100 on them. Same with John Hancock. Come out here, year 20, 724. Again, year 100, they didn't make it anywhere near year 100 with that. Just as a reminder, these were the breakdowns, how much more strengthful we were, not just if we get even higher percentages, but just in case they didn't get those percentages, how is that client going to be in a better situation? Here's the last thing I did. At the time over the summer, I was only able to quote 6% as a max for us. Lincoln was able to quote 673. Pac Life 7 was their max quoting ability. John Hancock 734. Still, I go out to year 20 with us. We were at 1276. Now I'm giving them 0.73 more, a percentage more on the cap, and 7.34 on the cap. What I mean is, instead of using 6, like I did right here, I actually used their highest potential cap rate and put that in. So where you see a 6, Lincoln had a 673, where you see a 6, Pac had a 7, and so on and so forth. And in those same 20 years, you notice we were at 1267, they're at 857, million for 981. Still did not have the cash value that we did, even though they had higher cap rates as I illustrated them. So hopefully I didn't confuse you, but to me, again, highlights the strength of our product and how inexpensive we can be versus these companies with the big cap rates, potentially, sorry, the bonuses, the enhancements that all charge an incredible amount of money. Here's an example of Pac Life. Just want to show it to you. Not too big. I'll highlight it just a little bit. But this is what happened in the first couple of years. They didn't earn any interest. There were no enhancements, no bonuses, but there were charges on their policy. Now, an example of the interest that they earned base-wise, say year 8, this was the interest that they earned. Okay, this was the enhancement that they got right there. You add those two up, about 41. The total interest, I'm sorry, was 42. This was the enhancement charge that they were charged for that potential enhancement, 45. They didn't even clear the enhancement that they charged. The next year, they didn't get either an enhancement or a bonus, any interest at all, and were charged $50,000. Now, this is not the COI at all. This is just the charges on their enhancements. All I want to mention to some of my clients is when I talk to them, I ask them one question. Do you buy a lot of lottery tickets? And they say, no, I really never do buy lottery tickets. Neither do I. But my question is, would you pay $50,000 to potentially have an enhancement on a lottery ticket? So if you earn 17, you get an enhancement, you break out with 44, 42, but your lottery ticket cost you $45,000. This example, you paid $50,000 and actually got nothing out of that enhancement. My always question to some of these enhancements is, if your client had to write a check day one, write a check before the year started for $50,000 to potentially get some growth, would they do that? So I'll leave it at that. I know I don't want to be too long on time, but that's the strength of our IUL. I think I've got one or two quick slides, show you DI, and then wrap it up for any questions that you guys got. Wanted to just give you guys an example on our IUL of some of the strength. I hope you guys can see this here. Let me make it a little larger. This was just a potential client, a client that we worked on, 42. At standard, this was going to be our COI, 42-year-old client buying 250. She was going to do some about 230 a month and then move that up to 500. But $63 was all the COI was. And again, she was standard. Well, she came back table B. And the agent came back and said, Rick, oh my God, table B, that's big. How did it change the policy? Well, let me show you. $63, and again, down here about 477, it changed to $94 at table B, and I highlighted it there, right there at table B. But here's what I told the agent, 716 is the cost down here, year 15. I said, this actually behooved the client to be table B with us. He goes, what do you mean, Rick? I said, here is standard, and this was the maximum on the IUL at standard, 11,850. Now she's table B. It went up $31 year one, but now the client can put $5,000 more per year, and all we charged her was an additional $31. So she can put $5,000 more in cash value on additional $31,000. Last thing I'll leave you with, like for example, Allianz, Penn Mutual that I showed to you, Allianz is 500% more expensive than we are in COI. We would not charge, if you took a standard client at Allianz and a standard client at Ohio National, we would have to charge table K in order to match what Allianz charges on their standard client. Their standard client is 5 times more expensive than us, meaning 500% more expensive. So we would actually have to charge that client table K to match what an Allianz is charging year one for that client. So imagine a table B, a C, a D on Allianz. If you ever have a table rated client, bring them to us. So in 2 minutes, I'm going to go over our DI. And then again, I love our IUL. I think it is the best IUL in the industry. I personally believe in it. I have one. I put $2,400 a month in mine, but I'm a guru, I guess, or I'm a nerd, I would say, when it comes to IUL. I look at every single company inside and out. What do they have? Is there something that I believe in our IUL? So our disability, just to share with you our strength of our disability, I believe, and it's said that we are the #1 disability company in the industry. And that's not just us saying that. The American Medical Association has chosen Ohio National to be the go-to for doctors. Now, they don't have to be in the AMA, American Medical Association, but they get a 10% discount purchasing disability with Ohio National. That says something big. A couple of years ago, we actually got out of necessarily all A class, 6A, 5A, 4A, and we created an M class. Nobody in the industry had created an M class, meaning a medical class for 6M, 5M, 4Ms, medical professionals. We created that years ago, and now companies are copying us. Again, flattering, but how strengthful are we? Here's an example that I have. We can get this out to you. This is a side-by-side one-page flyer of all the other companies in that medical market industry, or even in disability period, and how strengthful we are, the riders that we have within that, and the companies that we compete against that don't have the same riders that we do, all the way down to the bottom right here, showing the strength that we have. Residual, enhanced residual, basic residual, doesn't matter which. We even have a new one that I don't think is on here, which is a student loan rider, just in case some of those are right out of their medical schooling. So again, the strength of us versus the other companies. I'm going to leave it right there because we're up on 10 minutes to the end of the hour. But I just wanted to, again, tell you all, the one I didn't even touch was annuity. I believe we have the strongest life portfolio, and everyone has come to realize we have one of the best, if not the best, disability product in the business right now. A lot of individuals are selling us. So if you haven't seen us lately, again, disability, life insurance, especially IUL, whole life TED pay, even term, we are, again, one of the very best in the industry. If you all haven't heard of us, I'm glad you joined today's meeting. Any questions? I don't know if you open it up, Curtis, you know how it works. I wanted to be cognizant of everyone's time. I probably could have gone on and on, but any questions for me at all? You see what I mentioned up there, save your clients real dollars, put money back into their policy, or just save them some premium, period. But any questions for me at all? Curtis, yourself included.
Yeah, so we've had a few questions come in here, so I'm going to do a couple of things here real quick. We've got 2 additional polls, so I'll throw those up on the screen here as we're talking, and then we'll work through these. So let me see here. So first question that we got is, can we get a copy of this webinar? Which answer to that is yes. We are recording this, so we should have that available probably a little bit later this afternoon. Next question that we had is, how does Ohio National's cost of insurance compare to Mutual of Omaha's Income Advantage IUL?
Great question, and I know Mutual of Omaha extremely well. They're about 31% more expensive. Give you a good example. If we're $100 per year in COI, they're about $131 per year. Very close. I've actually mentioned to a lot of people that the Mutual of Omaha product is almost very mirrored to ours, except that little difference. And I don't discount it at all, because pretty decent, but very, very close. I've seen it to be about a 31% difference. Now you're hearing 31, that is a lot. When you look at some of the numbers, like I said, if it was $100 per year we're charging in COI, they'd be $131 per year in COI. So as you get out there, that's when the dollars really start to accumulate, though. Meaning if we were talking 100,000, they'd be 131,000. So that's my answer, and I've seen them, again, to be that. I keep up with every single company out there.
Okay, good. Next question was e-applications. How do they, is it the website, is it Firelight? How can they do an e-application?
It would be through our website, and I've shared that one with you. I know we've been on it before, but you have capability through IAMS to jump on our website, kind of give you an example here of what it would look like. Here, just kind of log in. I'll just kind of log in myself.
Here, I'm gonna close down this first poll here, so that way you can log in and they can see your screen again.
Okay. I don't know, are they seeing it? I'm not sure. You tell me.
Yeah, they can see your screen.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is me logged into the OnNet, which again, through IAMS, you would have access to as well. There's a little bit of some of the pending that's out there right now. But over on the right-hand side, we have a ledger, and anyone else can, you see the same quick hits. We try to put everything that's important over on this quick hits right tab. And right here is our e-application for life and disability. You just click on that. It'll take you right into e-application. And I would tell you, start to finish, 15 minutes. If you didn't even have any of the client's information, 15 minutes. If you knew the client's city, if you knew their name, if you knew what you were offering them, you would already be about 85% complete. Just kind of give you a very, very quick example. I'm just going to jump in and start one again. Actually, it won't even take a second here. Create it, and you're already going to be about 65% complete. So like I said, if you knew the client's name, the city they live in, and what you were offering them, you would already be 85% complete. So if you got them on the phone, you complete it in 5 minutes. If you can't find out where you're 99% complete, need to get it completed, all you would do is click on here, and it would actually take you right to the location that you need completed. So again, anyone ever gets stuck on 99%, they could do that. So answer that question for you.
Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to launch our final poll up here real quick, which is if people want information on the product. So another question that came in was on underwriting. So like some of the carriers out there might have restrictions due to COVID where maybe they'll only do so many table ratings, or maybe they've got an age cutoff. Anything COVID related that you're aware of that impacts underwriting with Ohio National?
Great question. Currently, you'll notice here on the Prestige, or actually, let me go to the IUL, we go up to age 80. But right now during COVID, we have that at 75. Not to say that we wouldn't take a 76 or older, but it's kind of case per case, anything above 75 right now with that COVID, just because of COVID. But we have underwritten 76, 77, but it's case by case. Right now, 75 is kind of where they're drawing the line. So case by case, we can look at the case, anything above 75 and take a look at that one. So because I've seen us do that at 76, 77, but right now, just because of COVID, it's at 75 where normally it's at 80.
Is that something where if somebody's got a case, they should just reach out to us and then we give you guys a call and see, based off of the file, what you're thinking before we do an application?
Yep, absolutely. Yep, they would ask, the underwriter would ask, and I didn't even mention this to the group on here, but we are absolutely transparent in underwriting. When I was at Lincoln, I was an IMO with them. Cases took forever. We'd email the underwriter, we'd get a response 2 days later, we'd have to email the case manager. So every question was about a week long. With us, we're extremely transparent through IAMS. You can call us right away, talk to the underwriter, even prior to cases, Curtis.
Perfect. And I'll close down this last poll, but I think that's something that's neat too. Not every carrier lets you talk to case management team underwriters, and I think there's value there. So whether you as the producer reaching out to us, certainly you can do that. We can talk to them, or if you want to call the carrier direct, you've got that available as well. So last question that I see on here is illustration software. So is that something where they go to the website, or there are platforms that you can use to run quotes like WinFlex Web?
We are on WinFlex Web, so just let us know through IAMS that you're with IAMS on WinFlex Web, and we can get you access on there. If not, we have 2 locations on our dashboard, and again through IAMS you can jump on the dashboard. Again, under Quick Hits, you can actually download the software right here, software and presentation. So you can download a hard software to your laptop or computer. Unfortunately, it's not Apple compatible just yet, but again, the downloadable software is on there. You can download it, have that at all times, and you can update it whenever needed. So there's a software and presentation you can download, or if you go through IAMS again, log in, there's e-illustrations where you can do it from the web, from your phone, on your computer. As long as you have internet access, you can run an online illustration as well. So WinFlex Web, on the computer downloading the software, or thirdly, just through the internet on our web, you can run a quote right there, save that, and send it off.
Perfect. And one thing I would mention as well, for anyone that's thinking about using WinFlex Web, when you're going to add IAMS on there to get access to it, if you're searching for our agency, you'll want to type in Insurance Agency Marketing Services all the way. If you just put IAMS, it won't pull. So you want to make sure to type in Insurance Agency Marketing Services. So with that, I think that's all the questions that we had. So Rick, I appreciate you taking some time with us this morning to kind of give us a rundown of the products and the underwriting and all of that. And I know we're going to be doing additional presentations with you guys here in the coming weeks as well, to really kind of make sure everybody's aware of the company, the products, how they work, all those types of things. So I appreciate you taking some time with us this morning.
Same here. You're welcome, and I appreciate the opportunity.
Absolutely. So for everybody that's on here, as I mentioned earlier in the presentation, we are recording this. It should be available later this afternoon. And then if you've got additional questions, if you'd like some more information on the products, the carrier, et cetera, reach out, give us a call. Phone number is 800-255-5055. Also, I want to remind everybody that with the Ascend event, that you are still able to log in there. And so there's a lot of good content in there, from marketing and prospecting to carriers to sales concepts to the top producer videos. So certainly feel free to go on there and take a look at that. And anything that you've got questions on, certainly feel free to reach out to us. So with that, I think we'll wrap up here for the day, and I hope everybody has a wonderful week. Thanks.